The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
TBS, America's #1 independent television network, presents the following sports exclusive.
You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And check out every episode of the show at basicallysports.tumblr.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg, Mike.
And this is Andy, and you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Scrambling to get things on the air tonight, folks. Two of us just got back from out of town, and we're running as fast as we could go. And well, Zach's here, so that's good.
Hey,
yeah, I mean, Mike sounds like he legitimately has issues though. His computer's screwed up, I guess. But.
Yeah. So here we are. We managed. It was looking touch and go there for a day or two, but we are here live and as always and doing our thing.
We've reached the end of the road.
That's a great Boyz II Men song.
Not my favorite bands. Not really.
No, I was down in Tennessee. Greg, where were you?
I was just in Toledo. I wasn't too far away, but I was on my motorcycle, which slows down everything because you just can't travel as fast and all that. So I rode back today, got caught in traffic, and it was just a whole thing. Nobody wants to hear about it, but it was a whole thing.
Yeah, I did not go anywhere. I stayed here.
Well, see, Zach, the responsible host of the show here. Andy and I are out there pushing our luck and risking everything just to see if we can pull it off. Just the sheer thrill of doing it.
I built some IKEA bed stands.
Oh, look at you.
I went to Home Goods and bought a lamp. Doing it big.
Settling into domestic bliss, Zach is.
Truly. The first time I had ever stepped in a Home Goods store, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of shit in here.
Is Home Goods, is that the place where you can get all sorts of like wall decor, like live, laugh, love?
It's like the TJ Maxx or Marshalls
right.
of home decor. So it's like stuff that's all marked down a little bit.
Okay.
From whatever home. Yeah, like there's a section for mirrors, there's a section for like lamps, there's a section for bathroom tchotchkes, there's a section for stuff in the kitchen, a whole bunch of decorations. They had a Los Angeles Chargers pillow, which I didn't get, and they had patriotic Dodgers and Rams pillows, which I also didn't get. So exciting things. Oh, they had like a silver painted gorilla set of gorillas. They were like the hear no evil, see no evil, like monkeys, but they were gorillas. And gold and silver, whichever variety you wanted.
Here's Mike. Did you get it all worked out?
Yeah, no. While I was away earlier today, we had a power outage, so.
Wow. Mike left home too. So we were rolling the dice here this week, boys.
All you people just risking your lives, going outside your four walls.
I'm fully vaccinated. All right.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I'm vaccinated by the Lord, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in a sandwich shop called Jersey Mike's, which is outstanding, by the way. And
a little too expensive, but good.
It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's not somewhere I'd eat regularly just because of the price, but still very good. And while we were there, we got the text alert. CDC says no more masks. And I just kind of slowly took it off and looked around. I was like, okay. Like, we went into a couple more stores and I didn't have it on. I was just kind of testing the waters. And granted, this is Tennessee, so it's a little bit red. But at the
nobody's
same time,
looking at you sideways in Tennessee about it.
No. But it was at the same time. It was kind of. I just felt sort of odd, but it was it wasn't too bad. It was a thing.
Yeah, I've ventured like the state of California still has the mask mandate in place, and it will be until June 15th. But like they're following the guidelines of like, okay, well, you can wear it outside. You don't have to wear it. You don't have to wear it if you're fully vaccinated anywhere except inside. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, that doesn't even make sense.
Great.
I mean, if we're vaccinated, we're vaccinated. If we're not, we're not. It's that simple to me. The thing either works or it doesn't. And I think Bill Maher is living proof that it works exactly as advertised. He tested positive, had no symptoms, and there you go. So I think we're all, I don't know, whatever.
We're just it's an extra month of precaution. It's no like it'll all be done. Half the country already has it being done. Another third of it'll be over within the next 2 weeks, and then the places that are being or have been super stringent about it, like California, it'll be over in a month, and then we can go back to pretty much doing things normally.
I know Ohio's back.
Giant indoor events, but
based on your suggestion, I looked 5 or 6 doorknobs just to see what would happen, and so far so good. Just want to report in with that.
Okay. Where should we start? I think we should start in the NBA today.
Oh my God!
I know we don't normally do this, but I think
that's only because we know nothing about the NBA.
That, and they're doing something weird. They're doing this play-in tournament, which starts tomorrow, where the way they've had it set up is the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds are all playing for the final 2 spots in each conference's bracket. And the way it works is the 7 seed and the 8 seed will play each other. The winner of that becomes the 7 seed, and they will play the number 2 seed. The loser then plays the winner of the 9-10 game, and the winner of all that gets to play the number 1 seed. So you have in the West, you have the Lakers and the Warriors playing as the 7 and 8. Winner will play the Phoenix Suns. The loser of that game will take on the winner of Memphis San Antonio for the right to play the Utah Jazz. And in the East, Boston and Washington are the 7 and 8. They get the winner of that gets the honor of playing Brooklyn. The loser of that gets to play either Indiana or Charlotte, and the winner of all that will then play the number 1 seed 76ers.
Look at the Sixers go.
Is somebody building a model on the plastic
in the background?
Pardon?
It's like somebody's building something in the background. Anyway, go ahead, Mike. What were you going to say?
This is all very confusing. Why are they doing this?
So, it's the State Farm play-in tournament. And this is I shared my screen here. It's it's a good tournament when it has like aerographs to like
it's literally basketball. Do you remember the montage in basketball?
Yeah, that's exactly what this reminds me of.
So I think our friend McCarthy on Twitter said that this is some basketball ass shit, and I was like,
okay. I get the idea of something like this last season where, the season was disrupted and they had to put everything back together on the fly, and you want to, expand things as much as possible to, account for that. But, this season has been going ahead as normally as can be given circumstances. So I'm not sure why they're doing this.
Well, because last year people were like, "Hey, this is fun," and the NBA was like, "Well, we can make money off of fun." And so,
well, my alternate take here was, when I asked why is this happening, and Andy replied, "It's the State Farm Play-in tournament." My response was almost, "Oh, so it's because they found someone to sponsor it."
Exactly.
Pretty much.
This just looks stupid. It
looks like the arrows at the DMV. Like, okay, if you need a license, what the fuck is this?
I mean,
it's like as Greg was saying, you were saying before when we started. If you're the number 10 seed, you really want to go play the number 1 seed? You really want to sign up for a 4-game beatdown just for the hell of it? Or I guess here's a different question. Which one of these 8 teams raises a play-in championship banner?
None.
If the Clippers were involved, then definitely they would have.
Well, no, the Clippers, they won a division once, and they said no, we're not.
Oh, right, okay. So based on these teams, I don't even know if I'm reading this stupid graph right, but if I'm reading it the way I think I am, if any team is gonna raise a play-in championship banner, it's gonna be Charlotte. because that team's got nothing going for it except the name of another team that they're not even really the team of.
The retired numbers from a team that isn't theirs.
Yeah, so if, given that pedigree, they're definitely gonna raise a banner if they make it in.
Oh, I thought you meant which of these teams could win the championship, but you mean
no.
Which was
none of these teams are winning the championship.
The same way that
if the Lakers get AD and LeBron back and they're healthy, I think they could.
No, maybe. But I'm saying like in the vein of like
I see
teams that have hung like an AL Division Series banner,
right? AFC Championship participant.
Yeah, it's what the Colts put up.
Like
we were there, honest.
Yeah, this feels a lot like they took the concept of the like MLB wild card 1-game playoff thing and are just trying to capitalize on that. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah. Just how about you just have playoffs? Like, because the NBA, you already have 16 teams and you have half the league making the playoffs. And like we already in the NBA, parity doesn't matter. Like, there's not going to be anything below a 3 seed's not going anywhere. So I mean, I don't know why we're wasting our time here with this crap. I guess it's just ratings.
3 more games of money. That's literally it. Because you're right, and that's why this is also it's worked out for the league a little bit in that you had the Lakers and the Warriors, who were both teams that dealt with injuries to their top stars. So now you can have this marquee thing of the Lakers and Warriors are playing a playoff against each other, and if even if one of those two teams loses, they can still win the secondary play-in game and still make the playoffs, and you don't have to lose them. But what happens if for some reason, let's say when the Lakers are playing the Warriors, LeBron rolls his ankle again and AD hits his knee on something, and all of a sudden the Lakers are now out of the playoffs before they even started. And you're sitting there thinking, well, we had this bag of money on the table that's now going to be less because we wanted to do this. Instead of just saying Lakers play the Suns or whatever.
You're saying that you don't think the Jazz can pull the same ratings that the Lakers or the Warriors can?
I can't wait for the Utah-Portland conference final. Yeah, no. It's not
I mean, but the thing is that this system sort of lucked into it this year, and that you've got teams like the Lakers and the Warriors,
or even the Celtics and the Wizards. You could
you could claim, right? You could claim like, they're 7, they're 7-8 seeds, but we all know that they are. But we all know that if they're at full health, these are really good teams. So even though it's this weird kind of thing, that's still like a marquee matchup. That's okay. You're not going to get a case where you have like legitimately good teams underperforming like that every year. Right. So like going forward, these games are going to just be filled with like the bottom rungs of acceptability in each conference, and that's just not going to be good for anyone.
You just have to look at the East, and like this has always been a problem in the NBA, where whoever makes the last seed in the East or even the West sometimes is usually a game or two under 500. And now you have a situation this year where the Wizards, who are the 8th seed right now, they're 4 games under. The Indiana Pacers, who are 9th, also 4 games under. And then the Charlotte Hornets are 6 games under. So in theory, the Charlotte Hornets, who are the 10 seed, could play their way into playing the Sixers. And it's like, well, great for the league. You get LaMelo Ball into the playoffs in his first season. Isn't that wonderful? But it's also like, but it's also a team that's 6 games under 500 that's garbage, and you're just going to throw them out to the Wolves. The argument the other way is that you look at where Phoenix is this year. They're the 2nd seed in the West, and they've been one of the better teams in the league. They were in the play-in tournament last year, and they were kind of playing badly in the regular season. Then they had the break. They come into the bubble, and all of a sudden they're like one of the hottest teams in the entire league. Them and Portland. Portland made their way in, and Phoenix didn't. But that experience kind of galvanized the Suns into being the team they are this year. So in theory, maybe you say a younger team like a Charlotte could make some sort of weird run where they win the 2 games in the play-in tournament. They get some experience in a series against the Sixers, and then they're going to be at the very least like a mid-seeded team next year. Who knows?
Yeah,
I guess these are all the positive arguments for it. I think it's still stupid. Like I don't because I know these teams are going to get run, and I know that's all just for money, and in that way it's completely stupid. But I can see some sort of positive argument to be made for it. I just don't think it's worth anyone's time.
Well, you got like under normal circumstances, we would have the Celtics and Wizards would be in the East, right? And it would be Lakers, Warriors in the West, and that'd be that.
Yep.
I don't know how we're benefiting by adding the Hornets to the list here, and the Pacers too, I guess. But I just I mean, it's clearly a money grab, and like Mike said, it was the reminds me of the MLB single game playoff, which is also really dumb. So the only thing I can hope for here is that the Charlotte Hornets do indeed win their way into this and then go all the way to the finals. That would make it worthwhile to me.
Right.
That would be fun.
That's kind of the idea of having a wild card, is that anything can happen. And
yeah.
I mean, with the NBA, that's just not really what it is. I mean, generally there's a few teams that are just clearly going to thunk the shit out of the second tier. And, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you're going to do it last year, fine. Do it this year, fine. I probably would abandon this idea. Didn't LeBron come out and say this week, or he was quoted as saying like, whoever thought of this shit should be fired, something like that. I thought he did.
Yeah, I can't argue with him.
I mean, the NBA is also the league that it legitimately thought about having their own version of in the European soccer leagues. There's like the regular season games that you play, but then there's also like a season long tournament that's going on in the background for the domestic cup, whatever country you're playing in. Okay. And the NBA was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So they wanted to have this weird thing where they were going to have like a one-off single elimination games so that some of those lower teams that aren't going to win a 7-game series could like win their own version of March Madness in the middle of the NBA season for reasons other than like money. And it's like, no one's going to give a shit. Like,
no, not really.
It's not the way American sports work, one. And two, everyone's gonna like the Sacramento Kings can be like, yeah, we won the NBA FA Cup. Okay, great.
That's like in the Governor's Cup between the Panthers and the Lightning. That's all that is. That's the exact idea.
Yeah, I just the NBA is more than almost every other league is done anything it can to squeeze a dollar out of its product. And this is just another example.
I'm just curious and I doubt any of us know this off the top of our heads. When's the last time, say, a 3 seed going into the playoffs won the title? Has it ever even happened? I'm sure it has, but when was the last time where you had a team like, say, the Bucks this year or the Nuggets in the West, where they got all the way and ran it and did it?
Well, we had the Nuggets last year in the bubble. They went all the way to the final or the Western final. Remember?
Yeah.
And they kept they were down. They were down like 3-1 in 3 straight series.
So
came back to win.
Yeah. So I have it up here. So there are 7 number 3 seeds to win the title. The last one to do it was the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. The last team before that was the San Antonio Spurs in 2007, and the Pistons before that.
Oh, so it's not that unheard of then, really. I mean, it's not common.
It's not.
It's not like Miracle on Ice level amazing either.
No,
right.
And I think you're seeing. I think this is a year where all that kind of gets turned upside down too, because I mean, hell, just look at the Lakers. Assuming that everything is healthy, like there's still some questions about whether or not they'll be able to pull it off, just because LeBron keeps like turning his ankle the wrong direction, and it's like, just go sit down for an extra week, my guy. But like the Lakers are a 7 seed, and if they're at their 100% capacity, there's no reason to say that they wouldn't win the title again. And if that's the case, then that turns up all the records all upside down of like, you'll never get a thing of like, well, this is the lowest seed to ever win the NBA title. It's like, well, no, because you're always going to have this 7-seeded Lakers team that came out of where they should have been.
Right. I imagine.
So the question is, though, let's just assume that the Lakers actually do pull it off. Let's say AD and LeBron, come back and they're good enough that they can elevate this team and they go on a run and they win the title. Do they get to claim that they're that they were underdogs the whole time?
I don't even think they're doing that now. Like
they get to
like
say,
really
no one believed in us.
Yes, no,
really,
we were a lowly play-in team that no one believed in.
Right.
Honestly, they seem more annoyed that they have to do this than anything else, which maybe isn't great because maybe they don't take it so seriously. But like it is going to be more difficult for them because they're going to have to start every series on the road. But I mean, assuming that they're as good as they are, they could just roll through it and clinch every series at home then. But I mean, they've definitely made it more difficult on themselves, and I mean, really of no fault of their own. It's just the injuries. Like you can't have two of the top 5 players in the league out of your lineup for as long as they were, and not be as bad as they were in the meantime. So,
well, I think too that if those two get healthy and they're at 100% going into this, then they've added Andre Drummond, who's a pretty good player. And if they're hitting on all cylinders, I don't see. I mean, they're probably going to win it because who's better? I mean, do we really think that a 100% fully functional Lakers team, the Jazz are better than they are? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know anything about the Jazz, but the fact that I don't know anything about the Jazz tells me that the Lakers are probably better.
Yeah, I mean, the Jazz have Donovan Mitchell, who's
he's good.
He's had one of his best seasons of his career. They've been a little transcended this year. I mean, even Phoenix has Devin Booker, who's gone to another level himself this year. But like, yeah, nobody would have said, like, if you looked at the West on paper going into the season, nobody would say, oh yeah, sure, the Jazz, the Suns, and the Nuggets. Those are your 1, 2, 3 in the West. Like the Clippers have been slow playing it because they know that they need to perform in the playoffs, and that's all that matters. The Lakers had injuries, and they've also been kind of slow playing all that because they know that they just need to make the playoffs because they're still probably the best team in the league when they're put together properly. So the seeding is all messed up, and maybe that makes for a better playoff. Maybe this little play-in tournament helps that, but I think the seeding in the West is a little. It's not showcasing what it actually is.
Yeah, I don't think the league likes it either. I imagine they want the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors in the mix there. I'm not sure how fond they are of the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers, I guess, are a big market and everything, but I mean, because the Warriors came into the playoffs pretty hot. The Brooklyn Nets are obviously star-studded and finished the season pretty hot. I don't know. I just don't.
The Nets all season have only, with all 3 of those guys playing, they've only Kyrie, Durant, and Harden have played only 7 games together all
That's
season.
it?
Yeah.
Wow.
They've all been injured at one point or another.
I mean, that's
the
House of Cards.
Look, I'm just curious. At what point can we get? What point do the Clippers inevitably just choke? Because at what point in this stupid tournament do we get to see that?
Who would they be playing in the first round? The Mavericks?
They're playing the Mavericks. And if you remember, Dallas damn near beat them last year. So, I would love to see Luka Doncic just go off and knock out the Clippers round 1 after they had this whole talk of we're in this for the long haul. It's like, all right,
they're always in it. They're always in it for something.
They were in it for the long haul last year.
Yeah. There are 2 things we know about this. One, that the Hornets aren't going to win the title, and neither are the Clippers. Those are the 2 things we know for sure.
Yeah, the Clippers, while they are the Clippers, they are currently enduring the curse of this awful logo. And so long as they have this awful branding, they will continue to be cursed, and deservedly so.
I agree.
I don't think it's necessarily the logo. I mean, the logo is terrible. Don't get me wrong. But
it really is so bad.
It's really bad, but I mean, I think it goes deeper. It's the team. This whole team is fundamentally broken. It's been possessed by some malevolent spirit since the Sterling days, and they haven't gotten it out of there. If last season was any indication.
Is he still alive?
Oh, I don't know.
Who's that?
Sterling?
Donald Sterling?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
He hasn't exactly been in the public eye. So.
He looks like he looked like he was near death during the whole.
That was forever ago.
Yeah, that was forever. Yeah, I'm legitimately shocked if he's still.
Yeah, he's alive.
Living.
7 years ago was when he got fired, and he's still alive. He's but I think what happened is he actually kind of died, and his ghost has possessed the franchise to ensure their destruction out of revenge for
like the only way that this team accomplishes anything is if, one, you got to rebrand. And I just don't mean like a new Clippers logo. Like, you just can't be the Clippers anymore. So you got to change the name.
I think they should just move.
I mean, two, they need.
Why be here?
Two, I mean, that might be a necessary step, but I'm saying when you got to change the name to, like, burn the franchise certificate and get a new one issued so that you're technically an expansion team and not like. And by the way, after you burn the franchise certificate, you need to douse the ashes in holy water
salt the earth.
and I think once you do that, you change the name and you've officially, rebooted the franchise, then maybe you'll accomplish something. If not, then, Zach's idea might need to be acted on. You might actually need to leave. And
no, when we get around to, like, will the NBA form a European division? Send the Clippers first.
There you go. Yeah.
People in Spain
wait! You want to grow the game in Europe and you send them? That's like when the NFL wants to grow the game and they send over like Jacksonville, Tennessee. Like,
but the Brits don't know that.
So what you're gonna send the poor Brits, the London Clippers, maybe not even years before they figure out this team's cursed.
Wouldn't you think though, if they moved them to like say to England, that they would have to become the Yankee Clippers just because that's just what they would do, right?
Makes sense.
I mean, right now,
I think to Spain and become Los Clippers.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure they already have the Hispanic Latino Heritage Month jerseys to just pull those out.
I think they're in storage. Look at the Italian league or the European league and just go, hey, well, anybody want to swing a deal? Like, find a team with a good logo. Of course, they'd have to get rid of all the ads and stuff, but like, yeah, we'll take these guys. We'll give you the Clippers. I would do that deal tomorrow.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wish that the Clippers on anyone. Like,
well, hold on. So
you know what though? They would go over there, Mike, play in that league and fucking lose over there too.
Yeah, it's second round of the Italian basketball league playoffs. They've lost to like
3-1 lead.
They'll blow the 3-1 lead to Milan or something.
I mean, we have to really while it is a great joy, a pleasure to just trash the Clippers. I think that there are almost the entire league has made the playoffs using this system. Technically, 24 teams of the 30 or whatever, 32.
30, yeah.
And but the team, however, with the biggest albatross on its shoulders is the Sacramento Kings, has not made the playoffs for 15 years.
Wow,
and that is that is bad.
They just finished 2 games out of this play-in tournament this year, by the way. So,
and
right on the cusp.
I really like the look of the Kings. I like their branding now. I think but I mean, I feel like they will never recover from the Lakers series. That was it. That ripped the heart out of their chest and crushed it.
That was their 28-3 Falcons Super Bowl thing. That was just like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but unlike that, where like the Falcons are at fault, like the Kings got screwed in that.
Yeah,
that was
Yes, yes.
It was a completely fair game that I enjoyed. Fuck Mike Bibby.
I mean, I don't give a shit about the Kings. I have no love for the Lakers either. They got screwed. Everybody knows they got screwed. It was Bret Hart after Vince McMahon ordered Earl Hebner to ring the bell. That killed his career. That killed the Kings. What's that?
I said, oh yeah, sure. No,
Oh.
I agree.
Okay, I was like, I
the
thought.
new logo. It's not new anymore, but the current logo I like. It's a throwback to the old.
Yeah, I mean,
Kansas
honestly, the Kings need to go back to playing in that that bank office that they were.
right.
Oh, the beloved Arco Arena.
Yeah, like
So
go
beautiful.
back to that. Like go back to playing in that. Like at least that's interesting. Like you're
Well,
still gonna you're gonna suck, but at least you play in an interesting place.
Watch
So
the
it's a-
Kings and refinance your car while you're here.
They've renamed it. I don't know if it's destroyed yet, but Arco has been renamed. It is now the Sleep Train Arena,
Yeah.
which is just a very strange.
Well, that was the
Um,
last.
That was
sponsor
Arco
they
too.
had.
That was Arco
no,
too, though, right?
No, that was the last sponsor they had before they moved to the new downtown arena. So I think it might still be that technically, but I don't think they use it for anything.
Yeah,
I remember a few years ago there was a story online about how like the Sacramento Kings section of the NBA online store was down for 2 days and no one noticed. Which
they use it for conferences and swap meets. Jehovah's Witnesses have used the arena for an extended stay. Yeah,
Wow.
they'd used it for some COVID stuff. It looks like. I just like that it's Sleep Train. I don't know what Sleep Train is. I think it's like a mattress store or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
But
is.
I just find it amusing.
is that better or worse than Smoothie King Arena?
I want
worse.
to go Jehovah's Witness swap meet. I think that would be very interesting.
I'd be down.
Yeah, just to see what they do. Like, what are they trading on?
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Not that they have those, but they should. If they don't, they should.
Is this? Sorry, is it playoff stuff? Is that already in progress? Is that tonight?
Starts
or-
tomorrow. Starts
okay.
Tuesday night. The first playing games are Tuesday. Those are I think it's Charlotte, Indiana, and Wizards Celtics. So the Eastern Conference is Tuesday and the Western Conference is Wednesday.
Okay. Well,
Speaking of the East,
go
before
ahead.
we move on, I just want to everybody let's give a soft golf clap to the New York Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
The
All right.
Look at it! Look at them!
10 games over 500. Look at you, like a real team and everything. They might win a first round, and then they play probably the 76ers. So
See, this is like the anti-Clippers, where like if they lose in the second round, it's still considered like
They will hang a banner.
It's done
from
well.
that. We lost in the second round. Put the banner up, and that'll say exactly that. We
No.
lost in the second round because we never even get this far.
I was actually, as I told you guys previously, I'm kind of an NBA orphan right now. I don't really have a team necessarily. I briefly looked into the Knicks. I've always kind of liked their colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to deal with James Dolan.
That's the kicker. Is it's hard enough to root for the Bears. I can't do it with another just dog shit, completely idiotic owner that like James Dolan. So I had to shelf that. Plus, I looked at their hats. Not impressed. Their hats on like lids in the NBA store. Mostly
Yeah.
shit.
I like their uniforms. Like when they were, they've made a few tweaks to them now that I'm not as crazy about. But there was an era where they were one of my all-time favorite NBA uniforms.
I like the ones where they had the NY Apple logo, like they put the Yankees logo inside of an apple. That was clever.
I like the alternate logo they have right now, which is like an old New York City subway token.
Oh
Kinda
yeah,
neat.
that one's nice.
Yeah, I'll poke around. I'm gonna mostly just make my decision based on merch. So we'll see what's.
I'm going to root for
up
the
there.
Knicks in the playoffs. I would love to see them. If there was a team I'd like to see go on to some probable run and win it, it would be them. That'd be so funny.
I'd be down. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, they have to finally win when they're not trying. Because when they try, it's like
So does that.
Oh well, we all remember the was it last off season? You know, they had so many plans.
that was a couple years ago. Yeah, when they cleared the decks and like we're gonna sign LeBron. Well, maybe not.
Or
We're gonna
like
sign Kevin Durant. Okay.
No, James Harden. No, it's like, and then no.
But that's exactly it. They've made do with like the lot in life that they've been given, and they're 10 games over 500. Like that's a in any other sport that'd be like, hey, good season for you. But in the NBA, it doesn't really matter. But hey, good season for you, Knicks.
I think that they should with the trying thing, they should take a page out of the Clippers book and go, look what trying has gotten these guys. We just got to just do our thing here and not worry about it.
Well, we didn't talk about it last week just because I don't know, we just skipped it. But we don't need to talk about it now; it's too far gone. But the Knicks James Dolan, as we mentioned, always a meddler in these things, has been surprisingly hands off with the Knicks. And what do you know?
Well, so when he actually steps back, so is this a sign for Jerry Jones that maybe?
Well, no. What I was saying is he stepped back from the Knicks, and they've gone up to the 4th seed in the East. He then started to, because the Knicks were doing so good, he stepped in and was like, what's the other thing I own? Oh, the Rangers.
Oh, and then the Rangers did not. Yes.
And then he like poked around a little too much, and now they fired their GM and their president and their coach. And
oh no! So, see, the Rangers were they had it good. They had all the benefits of his money, but like flew under the radar. Now he's aware of them. That's not a good situation for anyone.
No,
not at all.
The eye of Sauron fell upon the Rangers.
Oh no, he cares.
I mean, that's legit. I imagine that people in the Rangers organization just kind of all let out an audible just fuck. Like
as soon as that first email came through.
Yep.
So what do you guys play hockey here? What?
Fuck.
What's this guy getting paid like $10,000 for? What does he do? Sharpen skates? Fucking fire him. So just sad. I was going to say I wanted to give us a nice length of time to discuss this because we were talking about the Kings. We could talk about the other Kings that we kind of briefly mentioned on our text thread. The faux Sugar Kings, the City Connect uniforms of the Miami Marlins have been unveiled. They are yet another red, white, and blue team, but whatever. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this look.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. I love this.
It is red, white, and blue, but it's like it's that baby blue, that kind of lighter blue. That like they've in the press release they talked all about like the future of Latin baseball and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, you know what? Unlike the Boston thing, where the Boston thing was exactly what it said it was trying to do, which is look like shit. These like capture the exact, like when they say that we want this Latin feel and the Cuban heritage and something that's purely Miami, it's like, yeah, that's exactly what these jerseys are. Good job. You set a goal, you went out to do it, and it kind of works.
So to reiterate what I said in that text conversation, the reason I like these is because I can see these as an alternate to their current set.
I thought you were going to say because I can see the lettering on the jerseys, which is nice.
I mean, that is nice, but
yeah,
like if you put this in a lineup with the Marlins' usual uniforms, I would say, okay, they're a bit out there, but I can see them as being like existing within that uniform set. Like they seem like they fit, whereas the Boston look was just completely disconnected.
Ironically,
the only thing I don't like, and it's not like a deal breaker for me, are the I don't know what you call like the pinstripes, where they're like extended, they're wide, and
I think I might be wrong about that, but aren't the pinstripes supposed to mimic the way that a lot of Cuban baseball teams look?
Probably.
I thought it was based. I thought this was all an homage to the original Sugar Kings.
Yeah, the original Sugar Kings were white with the red pinstripes, and this is inverted. So,
but I think that's a good color scheme. I like the blue and that blue and red. I mean, if you're going to go, this is way better from a color scheme standpoint than what they wear right now, which is completely ruined.
Well, it's basically like the color scheme right now is black with like neon pink and baby blue accents to make it sort of like Miami. But this is like if you take the black out of the identity and now you still have the baby blue. And the red, maybe you just red up the pink a little bit, I guess. And now you get this. And it's like, that. I think that's why there is that connection between the regular set and this, because there is at least some sort of, for lack of a better, fabric between the two of them.
I would say,
makes sense. Connected tissue.
I would actually say I'm shocked that these are as kind of out there as they are, because this seems far too fun for Derek Jeter. Like, I don't know.
Well, he does like gift baskets, so maybe this is his jersey gift basket. It's like
his jersey gift basket to all of. Well, the problem that I have with the Marlins current set is, as Zach said, it's a primarily black look with kind of like a pinkish red and baby blue highlights to mimic, Miami nightlife. That's clearly what it was going for. It's sort of that neon look, but like the Marlins current, primary set reads to me like someone came in with a really cool, Miami Vice Marlins look, and Derek Jeter sucked all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I said, like this seems very out there in a good way, and it just seems like the kind of thing he would poo-poo. But I'm happy that it looks as good as it does. The hats are really, really nice. I really like how they like the big problem with the Boston one was that they went with a completely different color scheme, but they kept the classic hat, which just looked stupid because it's this hat that, we all know it's one of the most famous baseball hats in the world, and they put it in wrong colors, and it ended up looking like the UCLA Bruins. But here, like, they're not even trying to make this look like a Marlins hat, which I think works. Like, if you're going to do unique colors, if you're going to do unique jersey designs, then at least if you have a hat that, like, a unique hat design, it goes a long way towards making it all work. This hat is not simply just a recolored Marlins hat. It's its own thing, and I think that really works to its benefit.
I think they should just become the Sugar Kings. That's a better idea anyway.
I was going to propose the same thing. I don't like the Marlin here on the sleeve, and I don't like the Marlin on the side of the cap.
Yeah, the Marlin on the side of the hat is particularly kind of like, hey, we're also the Marlins. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Like,
it's,
all right.
But this hat,
I don't
logo,
mind it on the sleeve, but the hat one's no.
This hat logo is infinitely superior to everything about the Marlins branding now.
Yeah.
This sack of sugar, infinitely better than anything the Marlins are doing now. And also,
it's literally a sack of sugar.
It is. But also, how can we forget the literal Sugar King? Like this dude.
That's that is a perfect baseball logo.
Right.
He's right there with the swinging barrel man and the swinging friar.
Mr. Red and Mr. Med. And
I'm right there with you guys.
Like, this guy, he's wearing a fucking sugar bag. He's like, fuck yeah, look at me. He's like, one more step. I think that's what this means. One more step and we're there, something like that. The only thing I could see them, like, they should just, like you said, Greg, just become the Sugar Kings. Nobody gives a shit about the Marlins. Nobody has ever cared about that branding.
Which is
awesome.
Really shocking because they've won the World Series twice and nobody cares.
But like the Sugar Kings, I mean, you could kind of, do the whole wink and nod to say like, haha, Sugar Kings, like cocaine. But I mean, what's more Miami than that?
Right. I was going to say, I think it absolutely works at that level. It's, truth hurts sometimes.
I mean,
there we are.
I definitely think they should mildly, if they did embrace this for a full rebrand of sorts or whatever, I would like them just to tweak the red just a little bit, just to make it a little bit more of their own. But I mean, otherwise, this is fucking great. Like, I was very impressed.
I love the hat. The only problem I ever have with the hat, and this is just a personal thing. I think it looks fine. I never like the bill to be a darker color, and not like I like the dark, light, or you know what I mean, like the lighter color on the crown of the hat as opposed to the bill being dark.
I think when I said in the
fan of that,
I think when I said in the text thread that it looked a little minor league, but that's okay.
Make it all blue and it's killer. I think
that's what I meant, is that the hat is probably the thing that swings it towards the minor league a little bit. But
yeah, but you make that hat. I think the hat, if you put it on that baby blue, would look really, really good. I think.
Did they? So, does anyone know who's up next in these city unveilings?
No idea.
We'll scroll through the mothership article. I think it's supposed to be Arizona.
Oh,
it's either Arizona or one of the Chicagos.
That's
Arizona can go off the rails pretty quick.
Yeah, Arizona has the potential.
Up next is the White Sox, who will reveal theirs during the first week of June, and then the Cubs and Diamondbacks will both do it in the 2 weeks following that. The Giants in July and the Dodgers in late August.
I look forward to seeing how they, work the Chicago flag into two different teams. I think that'll be fun.
Well, I think that they'll between the two Chicago ones, I think one's going to be really cool, probably the White Sox. One's going to be really lame, and it'll be the Cubs. I think the Cubs, it'll be just some afterthought crap that they throw together with with the flag. The White Sox, I think because they're really good right now, they're kind of a team on the rise. I think they'll give them something more fun. But who knows? I don't know.
I mean, the White Sox just need to go back to the '80s look, man. Like, yeah, yep.
When it comes to teams like moving and switching identities, all that, the one thing that I learned through this Mothership Sugar Kings article, which I kind of loved for its jankiness, was halfway through their last season in Miami. Fidel Castro like privatized all Cuban holdings everywhere, and basically the Sugar Kings had to almost like midweek like leave Miami and they moved to Jersey City, and they didn't have time to fix the uniforms. So what did they do? Well, if you look at that photo, they just over the pinstripes with a just white block of fabric, they sewed on a patch that says Jersey City.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
Beautiful.
Uniforms weren't as big a deal back then.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
I don't know.
I kind of love that, and it's just like it's literally like taping over the team's name. Like, nope, we are the Jersey Cities now.
That's a hell of a C on this thing. I feel like the person or the script or whatever, like, look at that C. That's like wild. That's a double swoop.
Look, this might have been just a quick fix, but whoever did up that script, they took it seriously.
They were on it. They were like, hey, you know what? This is going to look like somebody taped over the front, but I'm still going to put my best into it. They did. Yeah, I like, anyway, back to the Marlins jerseys. I think that would be the whole identity, Sugar Kings. Let's do it, man. You know?
I mean, at the very least, like they sort of had the right idea, or here in the background, they have had the right idea over the last two jersey sets where you're Miami. Embrace the bright colors. They had that orange jersey in the previous one. They have the light blue jersey in these ones, but then they put out something like this, and it's like it's all bright colors.
Well, the problem with the last two sets was that in each of the last two sets they wanted to do the bright colors thing, but at the end of the day they couldn't help themselves by reverting to just black jerseys all the time.
Well, Mike, I was going to ask you, because you live there now, but how many houses, and not that exact color of blue, but a variation here, how many houses do you think you've seen in Florida that are like some sort of color close to that or that?
Oh, like a ton.
Yeah, I mean, they're everywhere down there. That's the thing, and that's it's a very Florida color scheme, and I'm kind of on the like when it comes to Florida sports teams, I'm of the opinion that they need to be colorful. Like, which is why, for the Lightning, I actually prefer the Honolulu blue that they had for their first few seasons before they went to just a regular royal blue. Like,
very much agree.
Like Florida is a very, bright place. Everything from, from private companies to, the color of houses, like everything is very bright. And I think it would really, do Florida sports teams well to kind of reflect that brightness.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that you've got to go with what you are, and love it or hate it, Florida's tacky as fuck with all those.
Which is colors. One of the reasons why I prefer the Bucco Bruce look for the Buccaneers. Like it's tacky and it looks like a logo you'd see at a dive bar, but like that fits, right? So
what was that great that I think we all follow that Super 70 Sports guy on Twitter, don't we? What was it? Look at this delightful bastard. You can't even get mad at him while he's committing acts of piracy or something. It was really funny.
I mean the current Bucks look, which is, the 97 look basically is perfectly fine and it's bright enough, but I don't know, something about creamsicle orange, white, and very bright red just works.
People don't think it's tough enough or something. I don't know.
Well, like I said, it's Florida. Florida sports teams should be, should be bright, and I think that's why I like this look so much because, going off what Zach said, this seems like the first Marlins uniform they've ever done where it actually seems to cash in on the promise of bright Miami-ness. And I don't know. I sort of have the same feeling about these that I do about the Miami Heat, Miami Vice look. Like that, this should just be the look. Just commit, cowards. Do it.
I mean, I'm looking back at some pictures of the first few years of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and you want to talk about a franchise that just had all the fun sucked out of it.
Yep.
Just a lifeless, shitty look now. That by all accounts, by all measurements of what quantifies a good or decent uniform, that it should be like acceptable and agreeable, and it mostly is palatable. But it is just so dull now, and this.
If it wasn't for the fan reaction when they unveiled these things, they'd be even more boring.
Yeah, the original plan had just regular stripes down the side of the pants and no black.
Yeah, and the fans were like, where's the one? Where's the black? Two? Where's our lightning bolt pants? And they were like, you wanted those? It's like, yeah. It's like the signature thing about our look was we had lightning bolts on our pants. It's like, all right.
The thing about it, right, is that the current lightning look is a completely fine look. The Maple Leafs have been wearing it for close to 100 years. So
yeah, I kept finding the right way to make a joke about the Lightning Panther series. It's like, oh look, we're gonna see
Toronto Montreal.
Yeah, part 2. Yeah, the sequel.
But it's this weird thing where Andy's right, where you're a team in Tampa, named the Lightning. And you come from the 90s. Like you shouldn't have an original 6 look. Like you should have a fun look. And those original Lightning uniforms, that had the brighter blue and they had like the weird wacky number fonts and like the stupid victory stripes. Like again, you could say like, oh, they were stupid, and they were to a degree, but it was a fun stupid, and it all kind of worked for them. And then, they got bought by a hedge fund manager or whatever who wants to, I want it to be a serious hockey team. And it's like, all right, like take your fucking stupid Stanley Cups and just go shut up.
And your Governor's Cup too, right?
You take your Governor's Cup, which by the way, the Panthers keep winning because it's the only game they care about all year. So
speaking of, and we should probably get into like some actual sports stuff here, but
we talked about the NBA.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this a picture from the Leafs and Habs playoff series. My God, that looks so good.
Ooh. It's like good. This is like it's Yankees Red Sox of hockey. Like this is like
really something.
This is there is a Canadian poem about this uniform matchup, basically. All right, like the hockey sweater, right? Like
Canada's going to have playoffs too. I don't know when they're starting. They're still playing the regular season up there. So.
They are actually starting the.
I know, they start on Wednesday.
They start on Wednesday because you know what, Vancouver, you weren't making it anyway. Fuck off. All right,
they had those games in hand, didn't they? Because of the COVID thing, right?
Yeah. The league requires them to finish their schedule, so they have to.
They literally moved up like the last game of the season, the final games of the season, to noon, so that they wouldn't interfere with the actual playoff games going on.
Yeah,
and then they're playing the final regular season game like at 11 a.m. on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and then so that the Leafs and Oilers and everybody else can actually start the playoffs on Wednesday.
So everybody else is standing around looking at their watches, waiting for Vancouver to.
Yeah, waiting for Vancouver because like all of Canada's on fucking lockdown. It's pretty much impossible to get COVID if you just stay inside. I don't know what the fucking Canucks managed to do to get it. God damn. Now, of course it was Vancouver.
The Brazilian strain too.
Of course it was Vancouver. Like it would not be Vancouver.
Yeah.
I
mean, they're literally playing the Flames, who are also out of the playoffs. So I don't know why we have to do this, but
because the league mandates that the full slate of games technically be played.
TV contracts have to be filled. And
I'm bummed that Calgary's not in. I just want to see those uniforms again.
I mean,
what are you gonna do?
I mean, I'd say that the Canadian playoff uniform, contingent is actually pretty good, all things considered. But then I remember that the Oilers are wearing their stupid blackout look or whatever. I don't know.
What is this about the Pens wearing their gold alternates during the
playoffs? Because they're dumb too.
God.
Yeah, the Penguins are wearing their alternates. Carolina's going to wear their black alternates.
Of course they are.
I don't know. The Penguins one is particularly strange because they've had these for a little while now, and they've never done this. They always go back to the regular.
I mean, yeah, the Penguins. The only time I think the Penguins have ever worn alternates in the playoffs was when it was like previewing a change. I remember in the 90s, they wore that really weird alternate they had with the gradients as their road uniform. And then like after 2 seasons of that, they made the switch. And then when they were switching, and then when they first brought back the skating penguin as an alternate, they wore that in the playoffs. And then when they were going back to the classic colors, they wore that in the playoffs the season before then. So like the Penguins usually only change it up for the playoffs if it's to preview a change, but I cannot see them going with gold primaries. Like they've never done that.
Primaries and the logo without the triangle,
which is weird. That penguin needs that triangle.
What are they doing? Stop that. I am outraged because the Carolina Hurricanes exist. And
yes, that is pretty bad.
I'm seeing them, and I mean, I acknowledge them, but they are keeping us from having the Whalers, and I've had enough. Stop existing.
This whole thing, like who benefits from the Whalers? From the Hurricanes existing, and I can't even think of anyone. Like you would
find fans of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, I was gonna say like the people of Raleigh, North Carolina, but if attendance figures even pre-COVID were anything to go by, they weren't benefiting from it either. So
they're going to be too busy watching the Hornets make a playoff run. They're not going to be able to.
Well, hey Andy, I don't know if you know this. Charlotte ain't Raleigh, sir. They are 2 different markets. How dare you?
But it's
literally like people in Carolina get very mad when people are like, "Oh, the Hurricanes are." People in Charlotte must love the Hurricanes.
Isn't Raleigh part of like the Durham?
Yeah,
it's like 2 hours away.
All they care about are the Duke and the North Carolina, the Tar Heels, the Wolfpack, and whatchamacallits, the Blue Devils. That's it.
I mean, they care about the Wolfpack so much that when the Hurricanes, became a thing, they just copied the Wolfpack's colors because they knew who was popular.
Yeah, and I don't think Wake Forest isn't actually part of that.
It probably helped that they had to like share the arena with the Wolfpack. So
yeah,
it's best if you do that.
But yeah, I'm with Andy. Like we can't have the Whalers and one of the best uniforms in hockey anymore because the Hurricanes insist on existing, and
we don't get Brass Bonanza either.
We don't get Brass Bonanza. It's just. This is an intolerable state of affairs, and
I'm not mad at Carolina or the fine quote unquote people of Raleigh or whatever
the quote unquote people,
the human lizard people that populate that region and lay eggs in the sand
down there. They're tree people. I'm dead serious.
I state your case, Greg. I don't understand this. Are there ends?
All right. Long story short. My girlfriend had a job offer at Duke University down there. All right. We went down there to check it out. And it was like every town, we didn't get into Raleigh, but we were in close proximity. Everywhere you went, like no one was around. And there were trees like in every like apartment complex, and every house had trees. So we started joking. They're the tree people. They get off work and they go back into their trees and never to be seen or heard from again. And that's what it was like. So yeah, there's tree people down there.
I mean, I think that'd make for a better world, personally, if we could all just become trees after we get off work. Just kind of become a tree. That'd be kind of nice.
The Ents don't seem to have it so bad.
No, Carolina is just the Hurricanes. No one likes Hurricanes. There's no one that goes, you know what? I just respect and admire the Hurricane. It's a thing that people hate. It destroys tons of property, kills people. Whalers, they just kill whales, and that sucks. But that logo,
right.
They should so good.
To quote Archer, what are you against clean burning lamp oil?
They should have just been the Whalers the whole time.
Yes,
like
correct.
There was some sort of small whaling industry in Carolina, like.
And hell, if we can have the Jazz in Utah, we can have the Whalers in Carolina. But
sure, I think so.
And here's the thing. We're never getting them back because the Hurricanes are going to are seem to be pretty committed to being the Hurricanes, not changing it. Like they're dipping in. They like to get the money from people buying Whalers jerseys, but I don't think they want to be the Whalers.
And you want to know what? Due to the piece of shit that owns the Carolina Hurricanes, that if by some miracle Hartford ever got like a new team
And they won't. That was going to be my other point. Hartford.
Yeah, they're not gonna give them back. Like when the Thrashers moved to Winnipeg, like the Coyotes were like, here, just take all of the Jets throwback rights, and then, but you fucking know that if Hartford gets another team, the Hurricanes are going to be like, no, the Whalers are ours. You can't have them.
Well, technically, the league owns all that stuff, so the Coyotes didn't get to do anything. The league was the Jets were like, hey, NHL, can we beat the Jets? And they're like, yeah, sure.
Can they, like, does legal end up? Because I was under the impression that it was the Whalers who were the Hurricanes who were making bank off that Whalers throwback merch.
I thought I remember it being the fact that like all those, whether it's the North Stars or the Jets or the Nordiques or the Whalers, that all that vintage NHL stuff is league owned property at this point.
All right.
Interesting.
I'm looking.
Well, anyway, I'm just not really happy about the series at all because it's like the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Purds. Like, I don't care.
Oh, it's the SEC series.
It's the SEC series. You're both.
See the way the divisions break down. I think the West and the East are both kind of like run of the mill. Nothing really crazy there. But the ones that I think are fun are the North Division, which we can talk about, and then like the Central Division, because like the Canes and Predators will never play each other in the playoffs in a regular year. But now they get this whole weird Southern bragging rights thing. And it's like, all right, fine, cool, do that. And in the North Division, we get all the Canadian matchups, which is great. And the Central Division has also given us the All Florida series, which is actually like awesome.
Well, the All Florida series is interesting because, like, the Lightning and the Panthers do have a rivalry, but they've never met in the playoffs before. So this is like actually a big deal for both of these teams.
And if Game 1 was any indication, like they're on the way to like forming some actual hatred in a rivalry
like Lightning Panthers is actually a series I kind of want to go 7 if all games are going to be like the one last night. And then in the North, it's really exciting because this is the first time the Leafs have played the Canadiens in the playoffs since 1979. Yeah. And this is
been that long.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's been that long because the Leafs sucked wind through most of the 80s, and then they got slotted into the West when the NHL realigned, and then so they weren't playing the Canadiens at all. And then since coming back to the East, they just haven't matched up. But this is, again, Canadiens, Maple Leafs, this is one of hockey's, great rivalries, and it's going to be really exciting to see them play in a playoff game again. And then, even Edmonton, Winnipeg is interesting because you've got Winnipeg
of Gretzky Oilers running down Howard Chuck in the Jets' throats. Yeah.
And now it's the Connor McDavid Oilers, so the Jets just can't catch a break. But it's interesting, I think, because you've kind of got that Western Canadian rivalry going, and and it's unfortunate that the Oilers kind of have to ruin it with stupid jerseys, but
it really is. Yeah, I mean the Jets uniforms I'm still mostly a fan of. I think their reverse retro was kind of shit, but overall,
the regular Jets are solid.
Yeah, it's a fine look. Like it's good for it's good. It could be better, but it could also be worse.
The Florida series, man, those are two teams again. Just to kind of remind that, like, watching them, I was watching some highlights from that game the other night. Very cool, like high scoring, maniacal game.
Yeah,
and yet both teams are just
feisty.
They both need to go back to the 90s. They both need to just turn back that fucking clock.
Like, could you imagine? I'm going to send some links, and Greg, you or Andy can throw it up on screen. I'm going to NHLuniforms.com because that's where we get this stuff. So, could you imagine, like, hypothetically, if in this series, if we got that?
Wait, I have to get. Hold on,
I got it.
Okay, you got it ready?
Yeah.
So you got that versus this.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
You don't like the junior Leafs versus the junior Habs?
Look,
right now,
the junior Leafs versus junior Habs looks are look, Captain Florida. That's all I have to say.
Man, look at those Lightning uniforms, man. Those are fucking cool. Those are awesome.
You've got it's like you've got this. It's like does the italicized future font really make sense? No, but it looks cool.
I like the silver, all like the silver accents and stuff. Man.
Hell, I even like when it comes to like the reverse retros, the blue version of the Lightning thing looks good.
It's hilarious because that blue Lightning, that blue version of the original Lightning look is so good, it almost makes you go like, why wasn't this an alternate like back then?
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate that it is essentially. It's just kind of funny that it is basically a Habs Leafs-esque look for both of them. Like the thing that still bothers me about Florida, I wish that the stripe went all the way around the back. I don't know why it doesn't. But it just, I don't know. Seeing and actually seeing the two jerseys go up against each other, I kind of like the Panthers ones a little bit more because there's just more to them than what the Lightning are trotting out. It's. I understand what the Lightning were trying to do under Steve Yzerman's gaze, to be a traditional power team, and like now they're looking for back-to-back cups and et cetera, et cetera. But like, there's nothing to it. There's nothing there.
There's nothing to it. And when you look at the logos of the original 6 teams, like they were all simple, but not overly simple. And I get the sense that with the Lightning, they went in thinking we design a look for the Lightning that would fit in alongside the original 6. And I don't get that from the Lightning logo. It's too simple for what it's trying to do. And I don't know, like it's just Andy's right. These two teams need to go back to the 90s. The looks that they have now don't work. And again, like I actually watched, and I told you guys over our text chat when I was watching the last Panthers Lightning game of the regular season, which determined which of these teams got home ice advantage. I had completely forgotten about the Captain Florida patch that the Panthers wore until
Like, that's the other thing that doesn't like. Is those guys still own the team, right? The people that
the Vinny, the wrench viola or whatever.
Their whole thing was like, well, we're going to be an army regiment, and it's like, okay, but why?
You're the Florida Panthers. What about you as army?
And now they have this very stoic panther on a badge instead of this ferocious cat leaping off the jersey at you.
Like I do like the Panthers, like with the rebranding they did. I felt like it was good in terms of like if somebody did it in the concept section, I'd be like, that's actually really slick. Looks really nice. In practice, not great. And especially for the Florida Panthers of all things, it has no character, no.
You're the Florida Panthers. You should have this crazy, ferocious leaping cat. You should have the sun on the sleeves, on the shoulders, and you should throw rats on the
combo was good.
Yeah, it was. And throw rats on the ice again. Yeah.
I just need like something that was cool.
Maybe like a meth spoon with like some random just like zombie.
Well, no, see, that's what they got to do, right? They got to replace the governor's cup with the meth spoon, the Florida meth spoon.
There you go.
That's what.
There you go.
That'll be like the axe or whatever they do in college football.
Anytime, if the other team wins it, right, they get to go over to the other team's bench and take the meth spoon.
There you go.
Spoon, yeah.
Just a shitty, burnt, bent.
On like a little block trophy.
He had a little block with Ron DeSantis' signature on the plaque or something.
I love it. Somebody should mock this up.
I'm all over. I would sign off on that immediately if I were running.
Oh God!
I would make an executive order and say, no more Governor's Cup. We're playing for the meth spoon, and that's that. End of story.
I'm putting lists on the I'm putting lists on my GTOV 2022
There you
sheet.
go. Perfect.
Florida Meth Spoon.
That's great. I love it. And I don't even know. Is that even a way you can ingest meth?
I'm sure, probably, right?
Florida people of Florida will find a way. If not,
Yeah, don't they take?
Can you
don't
shoot
like, melt it in the
that's
spoon?
heroin,
Yeah.
right? And you shoot it up, right?
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
know with
I've
meth?
never done meth, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
let's call an
How do
expert.
how do you ingest meth?
I don't know.
The audience know anything about
I feel
meth?
like for four guys
Well, no,
who
we
all
watched
watched
Breaking-
Breaking Bad, yeah, we
Right.
should be able to answer this.
No, it's definitely syringes. Yeah, you melt it in a spoon, and yeah,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. Anyway,
There's like nothing natural in. I mean, right? There's nothing natural in meth. Like with opiates, you've got the poppy or whatever. With
yeah, it's
weed,
all chemicals.
yeah. It's basically it's like let's get some Drano and some Clorox and a bunch of weird shit, mix it all together, and it'll get high. And, like that sounds awful to me, just awful.
Yeah.
But
Well,
It's a very
that's why
versatile
chemistry
drug.
teacher made the perfect meth and raised an empire.
He became the one who knocks.
I am the one who that was a fucking killer line.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
I do think that there's
Okay. So according to morethanrehab.com,
Oh, good. This is valid. This is good information for people to know.
this is why you come to basically a sports show,
Right.
folks. Tiny spoons can be used for drugs that can be snorted, like cocaine, meth, ecstasy, or heroin.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. You can't. Spoons are used. The Florida meth spoon is viable, and that needs to be the trophy that the Panthers and Lightning contend for.
I completely agree.
I'm down with that.
Understandable.
Um,
Let's not spend. I don't want to do like a full playoff breakdown because we take too long doing those things. So let's just do this in a quicker fashion. We'll go division by division and just pick a winner.
Okay.
Central Division, we have Canes, Purds, and Florida, Tampa.
Canes, Purds, Meteor. Lightning, Panthers. I was actually gonna say Panthers because it seemed like the Panthers were peaking at the right time while Tampa was starting to slump. But Kucherov came back cold and scored 2 goals, and
that's so infuriating,
right?
And
so if the light I still think the Panthers can make a series of this, and I still think that they can win it. Last night's game was really good, and if both teams play like that, this could go either way. But if I had to pick a winner, Lightning, assuming Kucherov can keep his production up.
And you just want one from that 4?
Yeah, who wins the division?
Oh,
the way it works is like you play interdivisionally, and then the 4 division champions will become semifinalists at some point.
Wait, what now? Are we
so basically all the playoffs, the first 2 rounds are all within the division.
Okay.
And then there's a division champion, and then there's no conference finals this year. There's just going to be the Stanley Cup semifinals, which interestingly means that there's going to be no Campbell Bowl or Prince of Wales trophy awarded this year because there's no conferences.
Okay, just they were going to ignore it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So
move on.
There's the bracket on my screen there if you want to.
All right, hold on. Let me find it here. I'm on the NHL's website. There we go. All right, here we go. There we are. All right.
Yeah.
So I would say Lightning. Mike says Lightning.
I don't want to make it the Tampa Bay salary cap violations. For those who don't know, Nikita Kucherov was literally league MVP last year. Had hip surgery, so the Tampa Bay was able to put him on long-term injury reserve, which kept him out all season. And then conveniently, when there's no salary cap in the playoffs, he can come off the roster and jump on the first power play unit. So no big deal.
Oh, well, that worked out pretty well, didn't it?
It's all very shady.
Yeah, but it's like, yes, there's legitimate reasons, but it's also like, I don't like that.
Okay, so you got Andy and Mike have both picked the Lightning, right?
Yeah, I want it to be Florida. But
I will say
Tampa winning that game, the first game, kind of discourages me, so I think we'll go back with Tampa.
I will say that if any team from this division is going to beat them, it's going to be Florida. I don't like the Hurricanes or Purds' chances against the Lightning.
I'm going to go with Florida. Just gut instinct, nothing more. Florida.
I like it.
I'd love it to be like if this whole series can be like the first game and Florida can pull it out and make some sort of run here. This could be like a huge thing for growing that team's fan base, which they obviously need in the worst way. We'll save the North for last because they haven't played yet. So in the East, you currently have the Penguins and the Islanders. Islanders win in overtime in the first game.
Did Andy and I pick the Purds? Canes?
I picked. Oh, I just out of that group, I picked the Lightning.
Yeah.
I
see what you're saying. Okay, so out of that group, yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
Okay,
I got it.
So the Panthers winning the Central for Greg, and then the Lightning winning it for the rest of us. In the East, it's Pens and Isles. Isles won in overtime, as I said, and Caps and Bruins, and the Caps won in overtime in Game 1 for the Mass Mutual East Division.
You get that sponsorship in there. They
yes, got
they
it.
paid good money.
$.
This is actually kind of hard.
Yeah, I think a lot of like the Caps and Bruins I think are super close, and I would have said that the Penguins are going to beat the Islanders easily, but Isles found their scoring touch again in Game 1, so I don't know.
I think I think the Islanders are going to fuck with the Penguins. I think that Barry Trotz is he knows how to he's going to have them. I don't know if they'll come out of this on top, but I do think they'll beat the Penguins.
I'm going to say of these four, I'm just going to say Capitals. I think they pull it out.
That's my pick too. Was Capitals.
I think the Capitals are like the class of that group. I would say. I'm going to go with screw it. I'm going to go with the Islanders because I feel like there's just going to be one of those teams that just kind of makes a weird.
Of the four, I would like to see the Islanders. I just think it'll be the Caps.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Isles too, but I don't. I kind of like what the Penguins have going for them. I think the question for a lot of these teams is in net. Like the Capitals, their rookie goalie on the first goal of the game blew a groin. So Craig Anderson at 39 years old has been carrying them the last game. And a half.
Wait a minute. I mean, we may need to reassess here, Mike. Hold on a second.
No. I'm sticking with the gut.
Yeah, me too.
Of the four, I say Pens as well.
All right.
And then the Honda West division. In what was a very entertaining 0-0 game, the Wild win that in overtime over the Vegas. And I think that's everybody's upset special because the Wild and Vegas played some wild games this season.
Would you say that it was Aces, Wild, and Vegas?
Oh boy,
I would just because.
And then you have the President's Trophy winning Avalanche and the St. Louis Blues.
Okay, so Avalanche aren't winning crap because they won the President's Trophy, so they're done. I would say
you got a better shot if you win the meth spoon than you do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say of these four, St. Louis. I'll give it to St. Louis.
Damn it, Mike! You're stealing my thunder here. That's what I was going to go with too, because as we all know, I'm contractually obligated to ride the Blues as far as they can go every year. So yeah, I'm with the Blues too.
That's a deal you've made with the devil that I don't know if you want.
It paid off 2 years ago. Finally got it.
Yeah, finally. Yeah.
We went Blues.
They did go Blues. Look, yes, the President's Trophy normally big curse. Colorado's been so goddamn good. Like I saw them
terrible like 3 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they've
been so good this year, and I think everybody in the hockey world wants a Vegas Avalanche series because they think it'll be so great. But I really think the Wild are gonna mess up Vegas in a weird way. So I don't think that matchup's gonna happen. So I'll take Avalanche to make it out of the West. I think that's pretty easy choice for me. Just Blues aren't that good, and the Avs are stacked.
Part of me does not want to pick the Avalanche just because the President's Trophy is not exactly an endorsement, and
normally an albatross.
I'm just gonna go with Vegas, I guess. I think Vegas will right the ship with Minnesota. Minnesota just sucks. I think they're okay. They're just not.
They score a lot of goals this year for once.
I just don't. I don't. I have no faith in them. They've been there before. I think they'll get through to the.
What is this? How many seasons? Is this Vegas' third season?
This is Vegas'
fourth. They made the playoffs every year, right?
Yeah, they have.
What's that?
It's their third. That's right.
Okay, because they went to the finals the first year, right?
They went to the finals the first year. The second year, they had the hilarious loss to the Sharks, and then last year was they lost to Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So and then the last one, our trusty Great White North, the true North, strong and free.
Presented by Scotiabank.
Presented by Scotiabank. The Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Montreal Canadiens, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh boy.
I'm going to be a homer. Toronto. Toronto's proved they're the best team in this division all season. And I'm excited for Canadians Maple Leafs playoff hockey, but I think that Toronto can beat them, and I'm pretty confident Toronto can beat the other two in a playoff series. The only thing that scares me is if they have to play Edmonton and Connor McDavid just goes off. But I think, overall, Toronto Maple Leafs best team in this division, they're going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see. I want the Jets are my team justice for this playoff because of the horrendous decision by the Oilers to wear those Navy alts. I feel like the justice must be done. I think the Leafs. I don't want to say what I think is going to happen with the Leafs because I feel like they're like on a Dodgers kind of thing to where they will, dare I say, win something significant. And I feel like there's going to be weird stars aligning to where like a lot of like Toronto people will be nervous as hell if Boston wins a couple series and Toronto does too. Like they don't want to face Boston just because of, but I feel like it is Toronto's division to lose, and that is not something that I don't think any Maple Leafs fans want on their shoulders because of pressure and expectations and good luck.
It's Edmonton's going to be Winnipeg. I'm sorry, Winnipeg. You can clutch and grab all you want, but like Connor McDavid's had the single best. Like people that have done like the math and done like the seasons based on adjusted point averages, because like they were scoring a hell of a lot more when Gretzky put up 212 than they are nowadays. Literally the best season of all time. He's like they're going to beat the Jets. Montreal's not good. They're just lucky that the Flames and Canucks and Senators were all that much
bad
worse than everybody else that they made it in. And you got to have Connor versus Austin, and I think you got to get the Leafs finally into the semifinals of this thing. I think, Mike, can I just describe a worst case scenario for you?
Oh,
sure.
No.
Just to plant it in your mind that things happen. This year, the divisions are all messed up. Toronto gets to make the playoffs. They don't have to play Boston in the first round. They don't have to play Boston in the second round. Could potentially play them in the third round. But let's just say it's Bruins Leafs for the cup.
Oh, jeez.
And it's game 7. And the Leafs are up 3-1 with like 2 minutes to go.
Don't do this.
Mike
has a lot to live for. You don't.
If that scenario plays out, then you are not hearing from me. Like,
could you imagine though? Like, of all the years that you had to like beat your head against the wall in the first round, now it's like, oh, we don't have to play them this year. Oh wait.
Look, there's a very there's a very good reason I'm pulling for Washington right now. All right, I want the Bruins dead and buried before we even start talking about who plays for the Cup. But if that happens, like no, legitimately, if it's Leafs Bruins and it's Game 7 and the Leafs have a lead, I am going. You're not hearing from me. And here's the thing. Regardless of how it ends up, you will have to eventually try to confirm that I'm alive. Because no, even if the Leafs win, you're going to have to at least consider the fact that the stress has killed me.
No argument there.
Who did we use to have suicide?
No. I'm going to tell you right now. If that hell scenario that Zach has laid out happens, I will not be sitting down. I will be pacing as that game is on. I will be pacing and I will be muttering obscenities to no one as I watch that hockey game.
Well, Mike, here's the thing: if Boston loses to Washington and the Maple Leafs make the Cup final.
Yeah,
they have no excuse, and they may never win it again.
No.
The gods have come in and delivered a pandemic to create circumstances for the Maple Leafs to circumvent Boston.
It was as it was foretold long ago by the ancients. The only thing, right, is that, like, I don't know, man. Andy's right. Andy is right in that I'm nervous as hell about the fact that, by all accounts, Toronto should win this, because this is Toronto's division to lose. Toronto has, almost since day one of this season, owned this division, and it hasn't even been close. And that makes me nervous. And you know what? Maybe the Leafs sweep the Canadiens. Maybe the Leafs sweep the Oilers and Connor McDavid, like, breaks his leg stepping out onto the ice for game 1 of that series. Like, maybe I have nothing to worry about, at least as far as the North goes. But I'm nervous as hell because it is their division to lose, and that's exactly why they might just lose. Because this team doesn't do well with pressure. Like legitimately, the Maple Leafs might be like the Knicks. Like, they just need to not care.
Sure.
And the problem is that they do. Like the last time they played Boston in the playoffs, they could have closed Boston out at home before it even got to a game 7. But because they were in an elimination game that they could close it out at home, they all played terrified because they were in front of, the home fans. And it's not just the fans, it's the players themselves. So I'm nervous as hell, and I'm going to be nervous as hell.
Is there attendance? Will there
Canada,
be?
No. Like,
I didn't think so.
Like,
no,
Ontario,
not right now. But so Canada, the whoever wins the North Division is going to be in a weird spot because the league has tried to make some sort of agreement with the Canadian government, but they haven't gotten it yet. So you may end up with a situation where the North Division champion has to relocate for the semifinals down to an American city, not the team they're going to play, but an American city.
Look,
and kind of operate in their own home base.
We'll take the Leafs in for a series or two if you want, Mike.
If the Leafs make it out of the North and they have to relocate somewhere for the semis and then even Cup finals, we'll go to Buffalo because as an act of charity, so good hockey can happen there.
Well, wouldn't it be more important? Because again, the act of the gods to sculpt this to where the Maple Leafs, it's like, oh, we don't want to play Boston. Okay, Boston will be removed from the equation. They're on the other side of the playoff tree. We get scared playing in front of our fans. Oh, I will not allow fans to be in attendance for your home games during the playoffs. It's like, just what else do you want?
No, I'm nervous as hell. But But at the same time, I'm nervous, but I've also been a Leafs fan long enough that I just know pessimism. So if they do blow it, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just be dead inside the same way I am now. Nothing.
Attaboy. That's the way to be. That's how you do it right there.
Yeah, that's the secret. It's kind of like Bruce Banner in the Avengers. It's like, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always depressed.
You're the only Bass member carrying the playoff flag this year, Mike.
I know.
We have to live vicariously through you.
If you bring a cup to the Bass compound, it's going to be a really special one. I mean, this is yeah.
No, seriously. If the Leafs win the Stanley Cup, like I said, you might have to confirm that I'm alive because I'm not going to be talking to any of you for like a solid week. I'm just going to be losing my mind.
I have a friend that lives in Largo. He'll drive across the bay and check on you to make sure you're all right.
I will be
wellness check.
I don't even want to say what I'll do if I ever see the Maple Leafs win a Stanley Cup, but I will be happy. I'll just leave it at that.
So if you die, you'll have died happy, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mike, here's another scenario.
Oh no.
The Leafs and the Lightning make the Cup final. Game 7 in Tampa.
I mean,
there.
I will do everything I can to be there. And I will get my my Leafs jersey in because arena staff won't know the difference. So
true.
It'll be the most boring looking Cup final of all time.
It'll be the most boring looking Cup final of all time, and then everyone's gonna go like, "Hey, Tampa, why did you steal Toronto's look?" And then they'll feel bad.
It'll finally be on the national stage where people will see it and go, "Wait, what the hell is this?"
The Leafs will win the Cup in Tampa, and all the fans will go crazy because they'll think that, oh wait, that's not ours.
It's going. I don't know. Like honestly, legitimately. Now that Yzerman isn't here, there's got to be some sort because the reverse retro stuff. I mean, we've all said we like it, and we're uniform nerds, but it's actually been pretty popular here to the point where I've not only seen reverse retro jerseys, I've actually seen the reverse retro T-shirts and hats that they've been selling to go along with it. So I'm kind of hoping that the whole reverse retro thing starts something where they consider, dumping this uninspired identity and going to something a bit more them. But then again, it's, you're dealing with like business people. So there's probably some idiot in marketing who's like, the analytics say that, this is the way to go. And we'll be stuck with this stupid uniform forever.
Yeah. Well, it all kicks off on Wednesday for you, Mike.
Wait, I haven't made my pick yet.
Yeah. Oh, who do you like?
Well, I got to go with the Leafs. I mean, shit. Come on.
I mean, but yeah, that is kind of a funny prospect. Like, what if the Cup Finals, is Toronto, Tampa, or what if it, long shot, but still Montreal, Florida? Like that's another possibility. So, Florida teams, like, dress like yourselves, please.
Did you guys look through Paul Lucas's rankings of all the uniforms?
Yeah, what a bunch of shit, fucking moron. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was mean to Paul.
I don't know.
I don't care.
I didn't see his rankings. I just
more
saw
worried
that
about
today's
Chris than I am Paul, but I just thought they were idiotic. Sorry.
I saw his purple Amnesty Day, so I didn't see his jersey rankings.
Well, the NHL is number one. He has Boston Bruins is number one.
Which
no.
Number 2, Canadiens.
I don't know about. I mean, they've got to be top 5 no matter how you do it. So
look. There are only, in my opinion, and this actually does pain me to say as a Leafs fan.
Where's his rankings, Andy? By the way.
Oh, here I'll say.
The InsideHook.com is the site that it's hosted
I like
on.
it.
But this pains me to say as a Leafs fan, but there are only 2 acceptable answers for the best identity in hockey, and it's either the Chicago Blackhawks or Montreal Canadiens.
Okay. I thought we were just ranking the reverse retros. Okay.
Oh no. Yeah, these are his like just ultimate power rankings for the season.
Then yeah, he's wrong.
Minnesota Wild number 3.
He's wrong a
Then
lot.
The Wild are number 3.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
because he likes
Wow.
green.
Yeah.
Oh, Dallas has a better green uniform, though.
Yeah.
Rangers are 4.
If I had to pick a green uniform, I'd go with the Wild over Dallas, but neither one of those is number 3 on my list.
He's Vegas number 5, which just
Fuck it. That's
Nah,
what I
fuck
mean?
him.
You see?
I mean, I think that they were pretty decent, but coming into this season, everything that they've added to their look this season has actively like brought that set down. From the gold jerseys to the shiny gold helmets to the
C3PO
reverse
helmets.
retros, like the regular gray and white it's better than I thought it would ever be, than I would ever like it. But once they've added in the shimmery gold nonsense on the jerseys, the shiny gold helmets, and the reverse retro jersey, like no, knock it down. It's down in the mid. It like they've actively done bad things to their identity this year, and
It cheapened the
I
brand.
agree with that.
And dead last, he has the Blackhawks because, well, you can guess why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
And
Well, what a you know what? I'm not even going to go there, but
we've
fuck.
talked about it. I mean, it's that's his
Well,
choice.
I am going to go there. It's a total fucking virtue signals. All that is. We're not talking Chief Wahoo here. We're not talking the 32s. Come on now. I mean, that is
Hold
just.
on. Beyond his Blackhawks thing, like I don't necessarily like their look, but the Kings 30th? No.
Yeah, no. This whole
Avalanche
thing is.
29th?
I think he has the Kings 30th because they're withholding purple from their color scheme.
He doesn't even like purple.
I mean, he's right. The purple, the retro, whatever they're calling them, that's the look they need to go with. I agree.
But there's nothing wrong with the Kings' identity.
No, again, they're very middle of the pack at best.
But yeah, then he's got like I don't know, like the Canucks at 27. That's too low.
Yeah, the Washington one I get because they're one of the few teams. Are they the only team holding out on the edge design still?
Andy, who's the guy? Like, what was okay?
Ottawa upgraded. Now they're to 26. What are you talking about?
What were like the top 10? We got to what, 4?
Yeah, sorry. So we left off at number 5 with the Golden Knights. Number 6 was the Blues. Number 7 was the Sabres, which I feel like is
first off, the Sabres is better than the Blues, and the Rangers are better than the Blues.
The Rangers are 4.
Rangers are 4. Yeah.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. 8 is Pittsburgh. 9 is the Maple Leafs.
That's
so are they. Yeah.
I don't know how the Leafs are low, and 10 is the Red Wings.
He's got the Sharks at 22.
Calgary is 13.
And his reason for the Sharks at 22 is he feels that teal is too dated.
It's the
what pisses me off too is he references the Sharks with their kick-ass throwbacks that are like my favorite uniform in hockey that needs to be their completely all-time look. But he would put them higher if they brought back the orange trim. Paul, what the hell is wrong with you? No.
That's
I just honestly, I think this guy's.
By the way, Dallas, a green jersey with good striping and all that, he has all the way down to 21.
I think he's gotten so far up his own ass. No offense, Paul, but that's the truth. I don't even know what he's fucking doing here. Like, what are you looking at, dude? I just don't understand it because some of the shit, it's like, what? What was it? What was 3 again? The Wild?
Yeah,
come on,
the Wild.
Come on. Above the Rangers, above who else? The Blackhawks, above the Maple Leafs. Are you kidding me with this?
I mean, he says their road sweaters are better than their home look, which is incorrect, objectively incorrect.
Which one? The Wild?
The Wild's away. Yeah, their white sweater, which is just kind of a whatever bland.
Yeah.
I mean, the reverse retros for them are amazing. I will totally give them that.
Yep,
those are fantastic. But like their just normal away is dull, and their home sweater is okay. But Minnesota has always been incomplete. Like they've always been kind of trying to find their way. Identity wise,
his reasoning, he has the Lightning at 24, and his reasoning is just like, what? Like, okay, we agree that unlike the Leafs and Wings, the Lightning don't have a century-long heritage to fall back on. Fine. There's nothing terrible about the uniform set, but it feels rather rote and uninspired, especially for a young franchise. Fine, but that doesn't make them 24th in his last bit. And it's hard to get past how the jersey crests make the players all look like the Flash.
I don't know. They're called the Lightning. What do you want their logo to be? I'm confused.
Well, so I've got his. I've pulled up his. He did in 2020. He did MLB and NFL rankings as well.
This ought to be good.
Okay, so just which one should I do first, baseball or football? Just going through the top 5, 10 or so.
Let's do baseball first.
Baseball, sure, why not? Number one.
Opinions on the football one.
Number one is St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm not. No, don't like that one.
I think it's a top 5, but I don't know that I'd put it number 1.
Look, the Cardinals
depends on what the rest of the list is.
The Cardinals are a garbage team for garbage people, so they can get fucked.
I will.
No, you can't put them ahead of the Dodgers. I'm just going through it.
Well, no, jokes aside, my anti-Cardinals tirades aside, it is a top 5 uniform. But is it better than the Yankees or the Dodgers? No, I'm not even sure it's better than the Tigers. So,
all right, go ahead, Andy.
Number 2, Oakland A's.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I love Kelly. Their Kelly Greens are among my favorite in sports.
Yeah,
but the rest, it's good. Number 3, Chicago Cubs.
It's a good uniform. I don't know if I'd put it in top 3.
I'd put it in the top 10. I don't know if I'd put it top 5.
Top 10, not 3 though. No, not 3.
Number 4 is the Phillies.
No way.
Yep. Which
we're surprisingly not hearing a name or two, but continue.
And number 5 is the Dodgers.
Oh my god.
He didn't put the New York fucking Yankees at the top.
The rest of the top 10 is Tigers 6, Yankees 7, Mets 8, Orioles 9, Blue Jays 10.
The Yankees are 7?
Yeah.
The Tigers ahead of the Yankees?
He's just up his own ass at this
point.
What?
How?
Andy, did you say Red Sox?
Red Sox are at number 11.
Oh my god.
What?
So here's his. Here, I'll look at some of his reasoning here. So let's see what he said about the Yankees here.
And we didn't hear the Blue Jays in there either.
The Blue Jays are number 10.
Yeah,
number 10.
Right.
Bullshit.
Well,
So
Royals, no.
So basically, he said it's hard to argue with the classic home pinstripes or the simplicity of the home uniform. But if you compare the Yankees with the Tigers, Detroit's road uniform with its script insignia and splash of colored trim is more appealing, no?
I hate the Tigers road uniform.
The Tigers road uniforms are like the thing that holds the whole set down.
Right.
I think the road set is muddy and gross.
They haven't had a good road look, and I don't know if they've ever had a great one, but they haven't had a good one since like the 80s with just the plain old Detroit across the front. I don't know how long when they got rid of that and moved to the cursive, the script, but I mean that it's not been good for a long time. So sorry, no. That's,
and you know what? I kind of like the Yankees road look. Like it's really basic, but
classy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Works for him.
I don't want to go so far as to say he's up his own ass, but I just feel like I just feel like he arbitrarily does these and is kind of just like whatever mood he's in. He's like, fine, fuck it.
Is he going to say something like the Blue Jays would be higher if they didn't use blue?
So bottom, I'll just do the last few. Little hypocrisy here. Number 30 is the Miami Marlins.
Okay.
And number 29, the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, why aren't they bottom of the list?
He said that retiring the Chief Wahoo logo was a long overdue start, but he basically said, like, I'm still punishing them.
He gives them a little credit for choosing to get rid of the logo, so they're not dead last.
The Braves are 28 because their use of Native American iconography. So
this is. I'm sorry. You know what? White guy, you don't need to. Just fuck off. I'm sorry. I'm getting too aggravated by this. Just go ahead.
Sorry. So Texas Rangers, 27. The Colorado Rockies.
This is from 2 years ago. So this is
May of 2020, April of 2020.
Oh, okay.
This is a year ago.
Okay,
the Texas Rangers, by the way, we all know are the worst.
Well, I mean, they've at least tried to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
This
I just put them last because, like I said, every time I played this game for myself, like try to name all the Major League Baseball teams, like I always forget them. So
the
football
Washington football team was last for many years for obvious reasons. Now it's number 12. So the
you know what? I would have.
Wait a second.
You know what? I would have applauded if he would have just had the balls to put it number 1.
So literally, the uniform that doesn't say anything on it.
No, number 12
is the logo is a plain maroon helmet with a number on the side.
He says the team's long-standing color scheme and base visual elements are strong enough to make this a perfectly acceptable NFL uniform.
Sure, and I imagine the I don't know, the Falcons would look great if they just wore like a black helmet and fuck off. I'm sorry.
He ranked them he ranked them above the Bucks, the Eagles, and the Dolphins, which is
fuck you, Paul.
He had the Arizona Cardinals were last.
I have no argument here.
Falcons.
Who do you put? Who do you put at 1?
No, hold on. 30. Kansas City Chiefs.
What?
See, this is just virtue signaling bullshit.
Yeah.
Is it because of the native stuff?
Yeah, it's because of the Arrowhead.
You can't have any reference whatsoever.
Fuck him. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm all for getting rid of legit racist stuff.
So am I. But this is bullshit.
But an arrowhead and the name Chiefs is not racist. That's just those are just things.
If that's literally his reasoning, then he needs to put the Vikings at like 29 too. Right?
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna do that.
Kind of, but yeah, I mean
I'd put the Vikings low on the list just because real Vikings didn't have helmet horns.
Right.
And,
he has them at 19.
If we're following along his line of thinking here, and we can't have anything that like is some sort of reference to a people or their culture at all.
Well, I guess I see what you're saying now, because I was going to say a lot of things people like, it's the old Chief Wahoo versus the Fighting Irish guy, which is it's a bad equivalent. It's not the same.
Well, I'm not saying that like either is racist. I'm saying that like if you don't like this because of this reason,
right?
You need to also not like this for that reason.
I think ultimately, when it comes to Native American iconography in sports, I think a lot of people. And going off what Greg said, and I say this as a white guy, a lot of white people like overthink it, and it's like I think it's actually a very simple solution when you're talking about Native American iconography in sports. It's a simple thing. Is what you're discussing racist, right? The Washington Redskins name, is the name Redskins racist? Yes, get rid of it. Is Chief Wahoo racist? Yes, get rid of it. Is the Kansas City Chiefs name racist? No. Is the Kansas City Chiefs logo racist? No. Then they're fine.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like you got it's just he draws it's like the line is here and that's it. No matter what. Like Zach said. If you're gonna use, I mean, it's one thing to have a Chief Wahoo or a Redskins as your name. It's another thing to use an arrowhead. And you're gonna draw the line at a rock, a carved rock, really? It just aggravates the shit out of me, because it's like he doesn't have any nuance here. It's like, nope, it's all black and white. That's it. It's like,
and
fuck off.
So I need to ask Andy, who's number 1 on his football list?
Oh, it's the Raiders.
Oh, that's
okay. I'm not
fine,
offended. Yeah, I'm not offended by. I was looking, by the way, at the Raiders to see if there was any.
I'm offended because people with one eye. I mean, you fucking can't do that.
So get this, and I did not know this. I had no idea how the Raiders got their name. They were known as the Seniors.
Yes, they were for like 1 month or something.
So the origin of the name is not known. They don't believe it was a fan contest, but the original owner of the team was a guy with one of the best names ever, Chet Soda.
No, that's not a real name.
It is, yeah, Chet Soda.
No. I'm telling you, that's not. I'm telling you that this team started off as a Ponzi scheme, and Chet Soda doesn't exist.
Actually, in the Midwest, he's called Chet Pop, but whatever.
He was He's one of the 8 original partners that own the franchise, and he wanted to name the team the Mavericks, the Oakland Mavericks. And then they called themselves the Seniors for a month as a practical joke to Chet Soda. And then
What?
So yeah, I don't know.
They named themselves the Seniors for a month.
Yeah, and
as a practical joke to Chet Soda.
Yeah, and then they also apparently they got a lot of shit because they didn't put the tilde over the N. So you could just call them the Oakland Centers because there was no.
Have you seen the Seniors logo?
No.
I'm just picturing a helmet with like centers written on the side of it.
No, okay, so here you go. This is a blog. It's just some guy's sports blog, but he has he's got a like worst sports logos of all time page, and it's right there at the top. The Oakland Seniors logo that presumably only existed for a month. Check it out. I've just posted the link.
Oh my God! All right,
yeah,
this is a big one. All right, there you go.
Whoa!
Oh my God! Well,
so
you can see that it is definitely a proto Raiders.
Yeah,
the proto Bucks. I mean, with the flower and all that.
Yeah,
the rose.
Yeah. I love the mustache and the rose though. That's what I think.
Who else wants to see them throw back to these? Come on, just on the helmet, if not. Keep the same colors, everything.
I don't want to look at
that. Sports sponsorship is becoming a thing in sports now. We could have the Oakland Seniors, or I guess the Las Vegas Seniors throwback night, sponsored by PF Chang's. This would be.
There you go. See,
that would be amazing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the top 10 is whatever. I mean, it's what Packers, Chargers, Steelers, Browns, Cowboys. Bills,
so when it comes to the NFL, he basically has like when it comes to the top 5, he picks like the teams that make sense. But for hockey, he's like, Minnesota Wild at number 3. It's fuck you.
I mean, we're sitting here fucking talking about it, so clearly mission accomplished.
I mean,
you guys thought I was being harsh on him when this first started because I read the inside. What's that thing called? Inside Hook, the article.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy is just fucked. There's just no way these are even close to correct. I do agree with him on one thing. A lot of the teams on that list, I prefer the white jersey to the home jersey. Like the Rangers, the white jersey is way better than the blue one. Way better. And there's a few. I think the Red Wings too is another one. But for the most part, I mean, when I saw the Wild at number 3 and the Blackhawks at 30, I was like, this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit.
I mean, the Wild haven't had a cohesive uniform since their inaugural set. So
chances are he's probably not going to come on the show now after this, but that's okay too.
No. We'll tell him that he can come on and he can educate us.
Okay.
I feel like Paul has, done an immense amount for logo enthusiasm and spreading awareness of sports design and all this stuff. And he's more than entitled to his opinions on this stuff.
He's more than entitled. No, of course he's more than entitled to his opinions, but and as a fan of this kind of stuff, I am actually to a degree, grateful that he brought this into the mainstream, but at the same time, as someone with opinions on the internet, he can go fuck himself. So,
Jesus Christ.
Well, we can look forward. We can look forward in a week or so for his NBA rankings. Which...
well, there are no native themed teams in the NBA, so how's he gonna pontificate?
Probably put the Lakers last because
purple.
There's no lakes in California.
Something like that, sure.
And purple, yeah.
What's his problem with purple again?
He just hates purple.
When we interviewed him years and years and years ago on the Logo Cast, he's like, I hate purple. I said, so you're going to tell me really that the 70s Vikings didn't look kick ass? He goes, well, you got a point there. So I don't know. Fuck him.
I don't know. Like, there are worse colors to hate than purple. Like, okay, bone.
Well,
I just love
that's.
I love Greg's deduction of the whole I don't know, fuck him. Just kind of give it about 5 seconds. I've been
traveling for 2 days. I'm tired. It's like I'm just I have no patience for this bullshit.
I know.
All right.
I know. I love it. What a weird little adventure that was going down Paul's.
I would say this too, that Chris Creamer has done more for uniforms than Paul Lucas ever has. So Not that I have any interest, or I mean, it's not like conflict of interest or anything. Being a moderator on his board.
All hail Chris Kramer,
right.
our Lord and Savior.
Anyway, are we all done, fellas? Is that about it?
I'm scrolling up and down the NHL list again, and there's nothing about it that makes me
just walk away.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
I'm gonna read this tonight before I go to bed, and just
you're just gonna be aggravated. That's what happened to me.
I'm just sitting here watching this Boston-Washington game. I'm like, God damn it, Washington! Like the one time I root for you people, like accomplish something.
Mike, you're looking at one of the best uniforms in hockey. What are you?
Oh, the Boston Bruins can get fucked. All right, no, seriously. Okay. The Boston Bruins had a classic look. They lost all right to be in a top 5 NHL list when they got rid of the gold socks at home.
I agree with that as well. Yeah.
All right.
Gold Sox better than Black Sox.
They had a really unique look with the gold socks at home, and they got rid of it. And so no, they are banished from the top 5.
I know we want to go, but like.
By the way, folks, tune into Unified.
His first sentence here. His first sentence here for the Bruins is: if you looked up hockey uniform in the dictionary, this is pretty much what you'll find. Okay, but you don't say that about the 9th place Maple Leafs or the 10th place Red Wings,
or even the 2nd place Canadian. Like.
Come on.
Come on. As someone who grew up surrounded by hockey, like, I'm sorry, I say this as a Leafs fan. The Montreal Canadiens red sweaters are pretty much like the de facto hockey uniform in my mind.
Yeah.
Like you say hockey jersey, that's the first one that pops into my mind. So,
I'm sorry to have
Bruins.
I'm sorry to have brought this into our lives.
We're going to talk about it next week too.
Right.
He has crossed the line here with this hockey ranking thing. I'm sorry.
This is awful.
It's too far. Bad. A bridge too far. We cannot allow it.
We're gonna have to get Chris to quit the podcast and be like, explain yourself.
All right, we're gonna go, folks. We will see you all again next week. As always, follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports. Subscribe via Apple Podcasts, Spotify. That's what I'm looking for. And Stitcher, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasting is sold. We will see you next time.
Adios.
Latest.